Email is older than the web, older than the personal computer boom, and it is still alive after every promised replacement came and vanished. Even today, industry forecasts still count more than 300 billion messages crossing the world's inboxes every single day, everywhere. The mystery is not how email began. It is why a system built for a handful of research computers became almost impossible to kill. To find the answer, we must go back before networked email, inside one enormous computer shared by many different people at MIT. By the mid-1960s, users could leave messages inside another user's file, like notes slipped into locked mailboxes. It felt very much like mail, but both people lived inside the same machine, and the message could never travel beyond that electronic building. 4 years later, ARPANET connected 4 host computers, creating the road system that local electronic mail had been missing for people. The network was built to share expensive computing resources. Its most enduring invention would instead help the researchers share their own thoughts. Tomlinson combined existing ideas into software that sent a message between machines, then emailed himself. The first words were probably nothing but keyboard gibberish, but the symbol inside the address changed the course of history forever. Tomlinson chose the @ sign to separate a person from a host, one human, located at one specific networked machine. That tiny choice created an address portable enough to outlive the computers beneath it. But addressing alone could not build email. Early systems disagreed about message formats and commands. A letter understandable on one machine could become complete nonsense on another. Larry Roberts soon added familiar actions: list messages, read them, file them, forward, and reply. Suddenly, email was not just a demonstration. It was a working social tool, and it quickly became ARPANET's largest application for years. Popularity exposed the next problem. Every machine needed shared rules, or the conversation would fracture into islands. SMTP standardized the conversation between mail servers: who is sending, who receives, and where the message begins. Another standard fixed the message itself, including the headers and the address format that still hides behind every modern inbox today. One standard moved the envelope, another described its contents, and that quiet separation became a superpower for later interfaces. Then came a dangerous test. ARPANET switched its entire underlying network protocol in a single day. The network beneath email changed, yet email survived. This is the first clue to why it would outlast entire technology companies. 3 years later, IMAP kept messages on a server, preparing email for a future where one person owned several devices. The protocols were becoming invisible infrastructure. The next revolution would not alter the pipes. It would completely change who could reach them. That revolution arrived in a browser, carrying an inbox that no longer belonged to one computer, employer, or internet provider. Hotmail launched in 1996, offering free mail from any connected browser. Your address could follow you almost anywhere in the world. Within just 18 months, Hotmail had reached 12 million users, and Microsoft bought the whole company for about $400 million. Email escaped universities and offices entirely, becoming the public identity layer for shopping, banking, and forgotten passwords. But universal access carried a parasite. One marketer had already blasted an unsolicited advertisement out to hundreds of strangers. That first famous spam campaign proved the same openness that welcomed everyone online could also be exploited by almost anyone, anywhere. Estimates soon said spam filled roughly 80% of all global email traffic, and the open system looked very close to drowning. Governments wrote new rules, while engineers built careful checks to test which servers and domains actually deserved trust. None of those defenses replaced email. They wrapped new layers around old standards, repairing the ecosystem without demanding one central owner. Then Google attacked the human problem. Overflowing storage, buried conversations, and terrible search. Gmail launched on April Fool's Day 2004, with fast search, conversation threads, and 1 gigabyte of free storage. It felt revolutionary, yet Gmail never replaced the email network. It offered a better window into the same shared system. That distinction matters. Companies could compete fiercely on interfaces while staying compatible underneath, turning improvement into fuel. The next interface escaped the desk. Push email made messages arrive automatically, creating an inbox that followed workers everywhere. The convenience had a hidden cost. Work could now reach dinner tables, bedrooms, holidays, and every previously quiet moment in life. When the iPhone arrived in 2007, rich mobile email became ordinary for millions, and the boundary weakened even further. Email survived new networks, browsers, and phones by becoming a passenger inside each one. Now came tools promising replacement. Google Wave mixed documents with live conversation, while Slack promised welcome relief from the crowded workplace inbox everyone dreaded. Each challenger solved real problems, especially team discussion. Yet none recreated email's universal address book. A chat user can message someone inside the same app. An email user crosses providers, companies, countries, and decades. No single company grants that permission. Shared standards do, and every provider gains value because every other provider can participate. This explains the survival trick planted decades ago. Stable transport below, endless competition, and experimentation above. Email is less like an app than a public road. Cars change constantly. The shared routes make every new car useful. But survival is not victory. The inbox stayed noisy, demanding attention faster than humans could respond. The final chapter asks whether artificial intelligence will strengthen email's old architecture or finally change the inbox itself. Earlier tools organized mail through folders, filters, search, and snoozing. Users still interpreted each message. Products like Mailover categorize messages, summarize long threads, and extract action items, turning the inbox into a briefing. Mailover's mission is to protect humanity's attention, starting with email, by fighting communication noise and returning focus to what matters. Its vision is communication that respects the person receiving it. Machines handle the reading, while humans keep all of the thinking work. This creates a new danger. When software reads everything, mistakes, privacy, and control matter more than a faster search box ever did. The problem is no longer simply delivering a message. It is deciding which machine may understand it, summarize it, or hide it away. Yet this challenge follows email's oldest pattern. Keep the shared layer and let competing interfaces prove themselves. Industry forecasts now place email near 4.7 billion users, despite decades of confident predictions that its end was imminent. Email survived because nobody had to choose one company, one device, or one era before speaking to everyone else on Earth. Its ugliest weakness, radical openness, is also its greatest strength. Spam exploited the open door, but the open door built the world. The inbox of tomorrow may look nothing like today's list, while the ancient message routes beneath it continue carrying human obligations. Email was never immortal because it resisted change. It became immortal by letting everything around it change first, again and again.